Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kukumlemle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Damongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, SuperSem, Build Your Dream, and Telesol 4G. Just a touch. And coming up,
the fundamental response of government to the findings of the report is that the report failed to address the first and most critical of the terms of reference of the Commission.
Government white paper on Ayawaso West Wogon Commission report rejects portions of the recommendations, saying it failed to establish a key item in the terms of reference. We'll bring you details, including its rejection of the recommendation for criminal prosecution of a man who slapped Sam George. Education Minister insists this year's computer placement process is the best since its inception, as he explains breach in self-placement portal led to cancellation of automatic placement, which saw scores of students stranded.
22,000 plus people who had been able to go through such a self-placement. So we shut it down. And as we speak this morning, we have over 91% of the students being placed.
Also, the Joy Clean Ghana campaign is today anchored in Choco, where AMA public health officials have given residents 48 hours to improve the sanitary conditions or face the law.
We are serving them letter to ensure that regularly they clean the drain. If not, we'll prepare them. Today we'll get a lot of people to send to court. The houses we visited here, there's no house that has a toilet facility.
We have details as the team gets assistance from the assemblyman for the area, who is instructing residents to get to work. We have sports.
Free agent Asamoah Gyan has joined Northeast United in India. Join me in 20 for details.
And members of Coalition of National Sovereignty has defied police order restraining them from demonstrating.
It is against the vulgarity that is plaguing our government, the high level of insecurity that is consuming journalists, our chiefs, and many other citizens of our nation.
All that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Now listen to this.
The fundamental response of government to the findings of the report is that the report failed to address the first and most critical of the terms of reference of the Commission, which was to make a full, faithful, and impartial inquiry into the circumstances of and establish the facts leading to the events and associated violence that occurred during the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election on the 31st day of January 2019. The failure to do so disables the government from accepting in whole the findings of the Commission.
It's one of the many comments by the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on the report by the Emil Short Commission, which probed the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election. That's not all. The white paper also rejects the recommendation for a criminal prosecution of the man who assaulted the Ningo Pram MP, Sam George. The President appointed the commission after the violent by-election in which a number of people were injured. Even before the government issued its white paper, MP for Ningo Pram Sam George cast doubt on government's commitment to implement the commission's findings. Listen.
All of those recommendations remain nothing if government fails to work with it. It is only on the basis of the government white paper that we will know how government seeks to proceed. It is government's position that will determine whether we would say we've made headway with the commission or the commission was just another soap opera.
Okay, but are you hopeful that the president will act on all the recommendations by this commission?
Well, with the president being the chief clearing agent, what do you expect? I have little hope. I mean, he should prove me wrong, but it's up to him. I mean, on the aspect that has to do with the individual who, Mr. Ernest Akomia, I mean, his own testimony is what is leading to any such recommendations. He testified that he went and picked the weapon. I didn't make that testimony. He made his own testimony. If on the basis of his own testimony he has been recommended for prosecution, like I said, ultimately it comes back to the president. But then our president is the chief clearing agent. He clears his people.
Now, on his part, UN security expert Emmanuel Bombande is also asking the president to accept the entire report of the commission and implement it to show he has the political will to deal with crime, even if it affects his own men.
Yes, I think that the president should accept the recommendations in their entirety. But there is something much deeper than that.
Okay.
It's not just about accepting the recommendations. It's about demonstrating the political will that he can rise up to the national interest as the president of the Republic of Ghana and act in a manner that suggests and says very clearly that if you think that in trying to project the interests of the party that brought me to power, you can disregard the rule of law and cause mayhem, you are wrong. Send a clear signal. And he will not be the only president to do that. You see, commissions of inquiry by their nature would end up with recommendations that would not be particularly pleasing to a sitting president. Now, when a sitting president goes beyond partisan political interests and acts as the president of the republic, the president does well in the way the white paper then would be executed.
You had the security and mediation expert with the UN, Emmanuel Bombande, but those calls are belated now because in government's white paper, a number of the recommendations and findings were rejected. And my colleague and head of investigative desk, Malik Dabu, joins us in the studio. So, Malik, the commission makes recommendations for some individuals to be held liable for their actions. Let's start with the man that slapped the Ningo Prampram MP, Sam George. We're told that Suleimana is supposed to be prosecuted according to the recommendations in the white paper, but government reject in the I beg your pardon, the commission's report, but the white paper rejects it.
Yes, so the white paper, government's white paper says that it does not accept the recommendation for the prosecution of Mohammed Suleimana. That's a person who slapped Sam George in that brouhaha. And government's explanation for rejecting this recommendation simply is that if you look at the commission's own report, it states clearly that the gentleman who slapped Sam George said that he slapped him because Sam George insulted him and his ethnic group. Now, government says that because of that, the gentleman has a defense of provocation, and therefore there's no need to prosecute him, or they cannot accept the recommendation to prosecute him because he will simply raise this defense which is available to him.
Now, the Minister of State in charge of national security was also mentioned. There was some recommendation for him to be reprimanded by the commission. What does the white paper say about that?
The white paper says no, it rejects this recommendation again because it says the commission has not established a factual basis for this recommendation, and therefore it cannot accept same.
Now, there's also a recommendation for a criminal prosecution against Double, Ernest Akumia. The white paper says?
Yes, in respect of his case, the white paper says that the matter has been referred to the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service as recommended by the commission, so that whatever investigations will be done and then subsequent prosecutions will be done. So in respect of Ernest Akumia alias Double, the matter has been referred to the CID by government's white paper.
So there were some structural and operational recommendations also, amongst others. The SWAT team should be dissolved, amongst others. What did the white paper say?
Some of them were accepted, some of them were rejected. Those relating to the dissolution of the SWAT team was rejected by government in the white paper. There were others which were accepted in terms of transfers. Those matters have been referred to the Inspector General of Police of the Ghana Police Service for the transfers to be done. So some of those related matters relating to also recruitment into the police service, the government says all of those things are done in accordance with laid down procedures, and therefore there is no need for any change at all.
And interestingly, they reject the use of militia in there as well?
Absolutely, yes. They totally reject the use of militia, insisting that these are vigilante groups and there's no basis at all to regard them as militia groups, as the commission prefers to refer to them.
We'll definitely delve deeper into this white paper. We're grateful. That's Malik Abbas Dabu. He's head of investigative desk here at Joy News. Now, meanwhile, security analyst Dr. Kwesi Ening backed recommendations for the SWAT unit, which was deployed for the exercise, to be disbanded. He spoke to Albert Kumsen.
It's a matter of national security agents, but that unit is a threat to the stability of this country, and their actions a danger also to this country. I mean, when I appeared before the commission, I think my mission was very clear. You cannot have a force whose recruitment, equipping, financing, operational discharge, and performance are not subject to parliamentary oversight. That unit's performance and behavior becomes an existential threat to this country. So, yes, I mean, the recommendations are good. Probably they could have been a little bit stronger, but expanding the SWAT team and then retraining them prior to integration into the larger security apparatus. People were around slapping parliamentarians around, and certainly as we head towards 2020, we will see more more parliamentarians or parliamentary candidates than being attacked. But I mean, these are recommendations. I mean, I think government can also reconsider what is in the white paper. But certainly, the immunity clauses are such that we must respect the sanctity of a parliamentarian, even irrespective of that individual or group of individuals' behavior. We cannot go slapping around.
You heard there a security analyst, Dr. Kwesi Eining. Let's head to the Ashanti region now, because members of the Coalition of National Sovereignty have defied police order restraining them from demonstrating. The group today took to the streets of Kumasi, demonstrating against the government over the happenings in the country. Bernard Mona leads the group.
It is against the vulgarity that is plaguing our government, the high level of insecurity that is consuming journalists, our chiefs, and many other citizens of our nation. It is also against the insensitive nature of President Akufo-Addo and his government on the plight of many Ghanaians, with incessant increases in fuel, electricity, water, and many other tariffs. The height of corruption in this government has reached a proportion unknown in the history of the world, not Ghana. Everything in this government has fallen almost helter-skelter. It is important, therefore, that good citizens should rise and say enough is enough.
Are you aware that police restrained this demonstration? And why did you defy the order of the police?
The police have decided to be irresponsible to their responsibilities, and citizens will not be the ones to respect the police when the police fail to respect themselves.
You heard that Bernard Mona is the leader of the Coalition of National Sovereignty. My colleague Nanaya Ojima is following the demonstration and joins us on the line. So Nanaya, first of all, this group defied the police order. What has been the response of the police in the region to this?
So I spoke to the second in command here, that's the Ashanti Regional Police Command, and they say they will officially charge them and proceed to court on this issue because the order that police gave should have been followed. They should have restrained from demonstrating here today.
Now, what exactly are they protesting? We are told they are talking about the current state of the country. What exactly are their issues?
So they've been complaining about the corruption in the country. They believe the government is not doing much to deal with corruption in this country. And also, they believe insecurity in this country is a problem which government should look at, which they believe that the Nana Akufo-Addo government is not doing enough to alleviate poverty among the people.
Well, you heard there my colleague Nanaya Ojima following that Coalition of National Sovereignty demonstration in Kumasi. Now let's head back to Accra because the Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, says a breach in the self-placement portal led to the cancellation of the automatic placement of 22,000 students who logged into the system. On Monday, hordes of parents and their wards thronged the Black Star Square to find solutions to their difficulties they encountered with the placement, a situation which saw many of them stranded, with 2 students and a parent collapsing.
According to computer, so he says his daughter secured a grade 11 and was not placed in any of the 5 selected schools, and so they are here for self-placement. It appears nobody is attending to them. They do not know what to do.
We went there yesterday. They said the name is not on the list, but they've written his name on the book. It's frustrated. As at now, we don't know what to do. So we don't know what to do.
My ward is placed at the school for the deaf. Meanwhile, he's not having any disability. So I was here last week and we were told to come back, and I'm really frustrated. I don't know what I'll do now.
After that, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service spoke to Joy News. That's the Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwah, and he assured that all issues will be resolved by Friday.
We are not changing schools. It is part of your selection, which you did yourself. If for any reason you want to change from day to a boarding school, it won't happen. But if you want to change from day to day, then we could get you to a closer place.
Some of them seem unsure.
They will get it before Friday, on or before Friday. So I believe that by Friday, as we're saying, probably the numbers may have come down to maybe 20,000 or even probably less.
Now, at a media briefing today, Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh explained why the ministry cancelled the self-placement which resulted in the chaos.
22,000 plus people who had been able to go through such a self-placement. So we shut it down. We then worked on it and we realized that truly they had been breached, because the true self-placement form should read self-placement, show the track that a student is in, whether it's single or double track, if it's double track, whether it's green or gold. And it should indicate clearly the date the school was going to open and also the residency. So we took a management decision that all those who had gone through that kind of placement, the fake placement, that those schools were not supposed to be available for those students in the first place should be annulled. So we cancelled all the 22,000 and requested that they all go through self-placement all over again, because we're going to be fair to everybody. You are not going to qualify to go to Prempeh College, but through a breach in our self-placement mortal, you've added yourself.
Well, you have the Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. My colleague Joseph Akable was at that press conference and joins us in studio. A number of issues came up today during that briefing. What else has the minister been saying apart from what we've just heard him say?
And so first, on what plans they are putting in place to fix the situation. He says after they had annulled the admission for some of the individuals because they took advantage of the breach, they went ahead to now allow them to self-place themselves. So that has been done, and says currently the figure is at 91.2% in terms of the percentage of those who have been placed, and they are hoping to complete the process today. The center will close today. Afterwards, if you still have some challenges, you have to call the minister. You can listen to him shed some more light on this.
And as we speak this morning, we have over 91% of the students being placed. So we have a good system, and the noise doesn't reflect what is there. There are 4 categories of people who turn up at Black Star Square. Those who are not supposed to be there, who were encouraged to be there. Those who were there, who had their placements all right, had schools that they have chosen that they wanted to change. Those who came there because they wanted to change their programs. And those who genuinely, when they were filling their form, they could not describe their gender. So they were males and they described themselves as females.
Now, Joseph, the Education Minister generated some controversy this week, accusing the opposition NDC and its flag bearer of busing people through the Black Star Square to cause the confusion that we saw on Monday. Did he repeat those allegations or did he explain?
In fact, I asked that he provides evidence if he has any. He says that he had interaction with some Queen mothers who came from different parts of the country to tell him that they had received calls asking them to come over to cause that impression of a chaos at the Black Star Square. He again makes the point that he has seen text messages directed at party communicators informing them to talk about the fact that there are challenges in the system to create the impression that there is so much chaos in different parts of the country. He went on to say that how come on Tuesday there was no chaos at the place? It means that obviously either the CSSPS guys performed some magic to have fixed it within 24 hours, or it was simply the case that people were faking it, which he believes is the case. And he says he even finds it disgraceful that he himself is even talking about the fact that someone wants to disgrace the country this way, and that if not for the breach, the system is perfect and is in perfect condition. And
he didn't respond to calls for an apology or resignation from him.
He says that as far as they are concerned, he stands by that allegation that there were some individuals who bussed individuals over to the police.
Okay. Joseph Akable there, returning from that press conference. But the Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition, GNEC, have issued a statement making some demands for a full-scale investigation by an independent committee to assess the current operational framework and system and ascertain the cause of the breach. We've been joined on the phone by Kofi Asare. He's the Executive Council Chairman of the Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So what kind of full-scale investigation are you looking at in terms of the situation? You've heard the minister saying that this is the best system so far since the inception of the school placement system.
Good afternoon. We demand an investigation into not only the events of last week and this week, but into the operational framework of the CSSPS. The issue is that we've been running the system for about 14 years. And we've been having pockets, and snippets of these issues every year. And this year happens to be the most aggravated one. Obviously, because the numbers are becoming huge because of the free senior high school program. As the free senior high school program has come to stay, it is imperative for us to take a look at the system again. Let's review the operational framework. Let's look at the software issues. Let's look at the level of stakeholder involvement. Let's look at the current level of autonomy it actually has. And see if we have to insulate each other from any political interference or any other interference. It is in the interest of that else the program, the free senior high school program, will struggle as it grows. That is why we are calling for this ministerial level inquiry, and not a departmental level one, a ministerial level one. Let's invite parents and students and all stakeholders and come and share their experiences about how their engagement with the system has actually affected them, so that we can find a lasting solution to the issues of secondary school placement once and for all.
And has this been officially communicated for this to be done? Have you done that?
Yeah, we are sending a letter to the Minister of Education today to this effect, and we hope that the Minister will see reason in this suggestion, in the sense that it is the foundation and the driver of the free senior high school policy, which is a very good program.
We're grateful for your time. You have there Kofi Asare is the Executive Council Chairman for the Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition. The midday news will take a quick break. When we return, the Joy Clean Ghana campaign is today anchored in Choko, where AMA public health officials have given residents 48 hours to improve the sanitary conditions or face the law.
We are serving them letter to ensure that regularly they clean the drain. If not, we'll prepare them. Today we'll get a lot of people to send to court. The houses we visited here, there's no house that has a toilet facility.
We have details as the team gets assistance from the assemblyman for the area who is instructing residents to get to work. We're right back after the break.
Let's go, My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Kremasa, Ghana, so we correct Mason pa. A Yamikosi super. Me a super Mason and Kasa. Because our job no and better. They won't see how beautiful and high quality your work is. That be what them they use believe you. That be why me too. It be only super same cement at the use. Cement mu cement. Cement papa. Intire me cries in from because super. Because me the super same cement and DVD ra.
Super Same Cement is designed to ensure that your buildings stand strong for generations. Build with Super Same Cement. Build your dream. Build.
Ago, my people, the Electoral Commission announces that the exhibition of the voters' register
cancelled from Tuesday, 10 September to Friday, 20th September 2019.
From 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. All those who registered from the 2012 after 2019 registration exercises should go in person to their polling stations to check if their names and particulars have been properly captured in the register. Go with your voter's ID card to facilitate fast checking of names. If you have lost your ID card, you should still go and check. Go to the polling station and have all your complaints resolved. Help ensure a clean and credible voters register by helping to remove names of deceased relatives. Come along with burial, death or obituary notice to help clean up the register. Let us help clean up the voters register to ensure free and fair election. Remember, the exhibition of the voters register
cancelled from Tuesday, 10 September to Friday, 20th September 2019.
From 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily.
It's time now for sports. Benedict Owusu, what's in sports?
Well, Black Stars General Captain Asamoah Gyan has joined Indian side North East United on a free transfer after leaving Turkish club Kayserispor at the end of the last season. Now, North East United is Gyan's ninth club and is expected to face the likes of Andres Iniesta and Yaya Toure, who are all moved to the Indian League. And well, yesterday was when Gyan's Baby Jets and the 16 tournament came to an end at the Accra Stadium, that's the sports center, with Ofori Academy beating Cheetah FC 3-2 to be crowned champions at the sports center. Now, the Black Stars General Captain, that's Gyan, was happy with the outcome of the event.
It has been a success. I think the season 3 that is going to be, I think, amazing. You know, we're trying to each year. You know, people were even saying we should do twice a year. You know, meaning people are interested in what we are doing, the project we are doing, and I'm very happy for the team. We sat down, we planned this, and it's working. Grassroots football is good for Ghana. That is where we all started, and I'm an icon right now, and I'm trying to remember where we started from, and it's amazing. People want to watch football, but it's not going on. So this is where I'm appealing to all the companies, corporate companies, to support this project, because this is where we all started. A lot of players who play the coast level, they don't see the coast football right now. It's something that we need to start and do. And
so that's Black Stars General Captain Asamoah Gyan. Wish him all the best. He's moved to India. That's Northeast United. Well, tonight we have Europa League games, and Manchester United are up against Astana, and then Arsenal will take on Frankfurt. So these are two of many matches that will be played tonight in the UEFA Europa League.
I didn't know you were a councillor too. That's Benedict with the latest from the world of sports. Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has given residents of all households in Choko, a suburb of Accra, a maximum of 3 months to build a toilet facility and 48 hours to improve the insanitary conditions or face the law. Almost every house visited by the team did not have a toilet facility, with residents living in such insanitary conditions. Here are excerpts of this morning's exercise.
I want to see the households here. Whoever is, Madam, you live here. Okay, so you wake up and take me around so that we'll do some work. I'll help to call anybody. Don't worry, call them. Those who are living in the house. So you are alone. Don't bring brooms. Move on, I want to see you.
So we are in another house, a house that has no toilet. This is in fact, all the houses we have visited, about 4 or 5 houses. All of them lack, a toilet facility, and so this facility instructing that they take rooms and sweep. They'll be sweeping and clearing the gutter that's full of plastic waste, food residue, and other materials that are not supposed to be here, choking the drains.
Nancy Emefa Jadosi joins us on the line. So, Nancy, how have residents been responding to the AMA's directive?
Well, I must say that it's a sharp contrast to what we experienced last week. In fact, the residents of Choko have been very friendly. They have helped us with the exercise. The assemblyman himself was with us throughout. He actually started mobilizing people to start working and sweeping and clearing the filth in their homes and also in the drains around. And so basically, it's been a very fruitful day. But one thing that happened is we realized was that almost every single house sited here at Choko lacked a toilet facility. And so the team managed to go to the public toilet where the entire community visits. And MFI, you'll not believe it, the septic tanks that are being used are all broken down, and these residents have covered them with carpet just to conceal, and hide the environmental hazard that's actually exposing there. And so today has been fruitful. A lot of them have been given summons and given days to, construct toilet facilities, and also the public toilets have been given 3 days to fix their mess.
And you got help from the assemblyman for the area, unlike what you witnessed in Jamestown.
He's been very friendly. He actually led us to the places where we would have serious problems. He mobilized people to get into the gutters and sweep. And he is of the view that it is his responsibility to ensure that the residents are clean, because if they are clean, that is where the entire community will also be happy.
You heard my colleague Nancy Emefa Jadosi. Meanwhile, in Kumasi, the Love FM KMA sanitation enforcement team has stormed a popular prostitution joint whose members reportedly defecate openly. Erastus Asari Donko is on the beat and joins us with details. So how is the team dealing with the situation?
So this is an area noted for prostitution, and the area is inundated with open feces, open defecation, I must say, and the whole area is full of refuse, which is created largely by these women. And so we came here just a short while ago. We asked them to get out of their cubicles and pick up shovels and brooms and other things, and they've cleared the whole place. They hired these refuse gathering machines, and they've carted the whole refuse to the dump site. And that's what we've been doing. But early on, we went to Seventh-day Adventist Senior High School, where they put their waste pipe in the drain, and the whole effluence is passing through the racecourse market.
You heard that my colleague Erastus Asari Donko, and with barely 24 hours to the 2019 Joy News Habitat Fair, today we are focusing on safety at home. We've been engaging the Assistant Director of Safety of the Ghana National Fire Service, Michael Kosa.
most of the buildings you find commonly that is being barricaded. And we are saying that use the collapsible one so that when something happens, you will just pull it, fold it, and you escape. Apart from that, don't overcrowd your hall. So we teach them basic safety procedures and tips. Now, if it's in the night and it so happened accidentally where the room is engulfed, we ask you to go down because every hot gas rises. Don't go across your room, but go by the wall. So we don't advise people to arrange furniture against the wall so that when it happens and light goes off.
So the fire service will be there to offer valuable fire advice. Remember, the fair opens tomorrow at the Accra International Conference Center from 8 a.m. It's your go-to place for all answers to your building and construction needs. I am Emefa Apau. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks so much for your company.